Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of The Furniture with me, Daniel. It's Season 6, Episode 6, and today we've got a big game at the top of the table against 5th place Wigan as we play our game in hand in the league. It also happens to fall on deadline day where I'm sure we'll be fending off lots of offers from other clubs, and we've also got a big cup draw in the way as well. So plenty of news and action to come today, and I hope it's going to be an entertaining one. So firstly, the reason we've come back a couple of days early is we've got a massive cup draw to talk about, and if we go and have a look at the schedule, you can see exactly how we've got to this position. You were with me for the game on New Year's Day against our rivals Plymouth. We drew that 1-2, so we continued our unbeaten run in the league despite not being at our best. We said we weren't going to play the FA Cup game on camera because we didn't have a great chance against a mid-table Premier League side. They weren't quite big enough that we had to show it, and they weren't small enough either that we thought we'd be able to get through easily. As it turned out, we absolutely steamrolled them. Most of the first team did recover in terms of fitness, and we managed to get a 3-0 win. Broja, Lewis and Butcher all scoring. It was complete domination and it was absolutely baffling to watch. So I was delighted with that and almost speechless at the end of it. So probably a good job it wasn't a commentary either. We followed it up in midweek on the bounce with a 2-1 win at home to Bradford. They got a late consolation to make it look closer than it was, but we were comfortably ahead after Jack and Crawford, the 2-star men, got a goal apiece. And then we played second place Charlton at the time, who are down to 3rd or 4th now. 4-1 we beat them. They got back to 2-1 at one stage, but in the second half Adam Lewis was brilliant and finished off the win with a late penalty to get a hat-trick. A brilliant performance from that man, and he's becoming an absolute superstar in this save. He's contributed to 18 goals already this season, and he's probably just as valuable as the front two now. We did, however, have one bit of bad news. We lost 2-1 away at Bristol Rovers. That ended an unbeaten run of 21 games in the league. Owen Jack picked up a really early injury and we were 2-0 down in no time. We didn't deserve to get anything out of the game, and lo and behold we didn't, despite Broja giving us a chance going into the second half. However, we come into this one with 2 back-to-back cup games, and it was absolutely brilliant on both sides of it. Swindon away in a Checkatrade trophy. Our backup team were at their best as we won 3-2 away at Swindon. Cornick, the Luton player in real life, scored for Swindon, as did Keshi Anderson. But fortunately for us, Broja, Kenlock and Davis all got the goals. George Moncur was brilliant setting up our backup number 10, and we've got a new name, Stevens, in midfield there, who we'll be introducing in a bit more detail in a moment. And then we went away to another lower Premier League side in Bournemouth in the FA Cup 4th round, and we nicked it again. And to give you an idea of the calibre, the Ricardo Rodriguez, Swiss left back, scored the winner. Thankfully he put into his own net, and it got us through to the next round. A good attendance there, as Bournemouth have moved grounds in this save. So all in all, despite the 1 league defeat last time out, we've been in brilliant form this month and I couldn't have asked for much more. If we go and look at the finances, we said at the end of the last episode, if we could get back above that 2 million mark, we'd be really happy, and we've gone well beyond that. With our 2 FA Cup draws in a row, we've gone to nearly 2.4, with another draw to come up today, which will hopefully give us a massive 5th round tie. We're in the last 16, so hopefully there can't be too many small teams left. We've got a little bit of transfer news already to talk about. We mentioned the one that was coming in. There's a possible big one going out. We mentioned John Richards in the last episode. We've had a bid going up to 1.5 million, with over $1 million of it guaranteed, and then another 50% sell-on clause. He's our 5th choice central midfielder, and it doesn't look like he's really going to make the top level. Probably got championship potential, but for us, we don't really want to take that gamble. So it'd be an absolutely brilliant deal for us. I can't remember how much we paid for him, or if we got him on a free. It was a free transfer, so he's done really well for us based on that, and we're going to make a huge profit on the lad. West Brom are a big side. They're mid-table in the championship at the moment, but we can't begrudge him that move. But looking at the ones that are already done, Jack Clark we did manage to get out of the club also. A really good player for us up till last year. Unfortunately that injury's just ruined his career at this level. He's moved on to Bury, who are in League 2, and we managed to get 75 grand for him, which isn't too bad really. I'm not sure what we paid for him originally. Again, we got him on a free, so a profit nonetheless. We replaced him with Jordan Stevens from Leeds, a £110,000 midfielder. Obviously that means that when Richards goes, we've got a replacement there too. He's one that can play in that deep lying playmaker role, as well as being a more attacking Mazzala or box-to-box midfielder. A really good passer, technically astute, not the best physically, but mentally solid as well. Just 23 years of age with a bit more room for development, and with 3-star ability and 4-star potential, I really think he's going to be a good player for us in the future. It's only a matter of time before he gets to start some games, and if McDonald's loan can't be renewed next year, Stevens is a shoo-in for replacing him. So brilliant work so far, and we could have some big money to come in yet. But as we mentioned, the reason we've come back a couple of days early, it's the 5th round of the FA Cup, and we've got to see who we get in the draw. The 2 Manchester clubs are still in it, Chelsea are potentially there, any of the other big boys in, Liverpool still there as well as Spurs, only Arsenal missing by the looks of it, so this could be a really important draw. Let's see who we get, we'll go through the draw in full. First out is Sheffield United away, they're in the Premier League now, so that wouldn't be a disaster, but they've drawn Hull or Sunderland. Away to Barnsley in League 1, we really don't want to see any more of Barnsley. We managed them enough in our other series. Man City have got them, so that's one of the big boys gone. Leicester or West Ham away. I know West Ham are in the Championship on this save, but that's still a good draw. But unfortunately, it's Middlesbrough. Fulham next, that's not really a big game considering they're now in the Championship again. Away to them is Manchester United. Both of the big boys from Manchester gone, leaving just Liverpool, Chelsea and Spurs. Sheffield Wednesday are next out from League 2. I guess if you want to look at the other side of it, it's a potential winnable game, and an FA Cup quarter-final would be massive. They've drawn Tottenham though, so that's another one of the big 6 gone. We've managed to get a home tie though. Who's left? Liverpool would be the big one. In reverse of that, there's Bristol City or Watford at home, Chelsea or QPR, and Villa or Forest. Have your guesses, anyone, in the comments. Who do you think it's going to be? Don't cheat and let's hope for Liverpool, our parent club. Bristol City, that's a little bit disappointing. I'm slightly underwhelmed, but I guess it does give us a chance to win. They're 20th in the Championship, so only 4 places between us in the pyramid, and I think we've got a chance in this one. Maybe we'll get to an FA Cup quarter-final. If before that tie we can get further clear in the league, not really worried about second, but clear a 3rd place, so we can guarantee an automatic promotion, I might rest some players and take my chances. That will definitely be the next game on camera, should we be doing well in the league. So let's just draw all the teams now, see who Chelsea and Liverpool get. They're all drawing the bigger sides, Premier League ties all around. I have to say I was very disappointed with that when it came out of the hat, but I think overall it could turn out to be a blessing in disguise. If we can get to a quarter-final, that would be absolutely massive. Hopefully we'll get on TV as well, but we'll wait and see for that one. There's the confirmation, Bristol City at home, and because the 5th round's been changed in real life, we're now playing at home on a Tuesday night, which should give us a brilliant capacity crowd under the lights. No extra time in that one, so fingers crossed we'll be able to get through. But that's the only reason we came back early. We'll be back on deadline day, where I'm sure we'll have confirmation of the transfer for Richards and also be fending off plenty of other offers before we play against Wigan Athletic. We'll be back in a second for that. Right, it's transfer deadline day. We're going to go and take part. Stoke have made an offer for someone. I've no idea who this is, and I'm not quite sure why we're seeing it. He looks a decent player, but he's not anyone we're worried about, so I've no idea why that's showing up there. But we're going to get into deadline day. We'll just want to see if there's anyone we need to offer out, and we'll have a look at who's wanted as well. Alex Bass and Owen Jack, we've been getting offers for all January. Jack's no longer wanted. That's because he signed a new contract with an additional year. That's 3.5 years remaining, and still only on £3,000 a week. So brilliant work from us there. McComb's wanted. He's one we'd potentially sell. Bass is going nowhere. Shay Facey, again maybe, but as we said in the last episode, we'd rather keep him and let him go for free in the summer. The other one that was in that position at the start of the month was Aaron Davis. He signed a new 1-year deal now as well, so he shouldn't be going anywhere either. The only one we're thinking about getting out is Greg Weir on loan. The young midfielder needs a bit more development. He's doing well off the pitch, his personality keeps improving, but it'd be good for him to get some football. The same goes for Ronan Darcy, so if we can get one or both of those out, hopefully it'll help their development. Aside from that, we're not too worried. We're just going to crack on with the day. We'll be back as there's news, but hopefully there won't be too much going on. First bit of very big news of the day then, unexpected to say the least. John Richards has rejected West Brom. An opportunity to go up a league. He's staying with us for the rest of the season and he's continuing to improve. So that's a bit of a strange one to start the day. It does mean we've got a midfielder too many at the club, so we might be loaning him out actually after all that. Rotherham have made an offer for Alex Bass, 210 grand plus instalments. That's absolutely pathetic. We're not selling him at all. That's even below his value. We've got an offer for McComb. That's really low as well. I'm a bit surprised about that. Let's see what he's actually worth. Only 55,000. He's worth less than Richards, which seems a bit strange. We're going to go and see how much we can negotiate this by, as the offer for Richard started fairly similarly. So we're going to go and times everything by 4 or 5. We're going to go for 600 grand in guaranteed money up front and in instalments. We're not worried about money after league appearances because we can't guarantee them. 20 grand per league appearance if he makes them, and then 100,000 on the international appearance. He's Northern Irish, so he's got a bit more of a chance. He's been on under 21 duty a few times as well. We'll agree to arrange a friendly because we'd quite like that, and we also want a percentage of the next sale. 50% we always go for that. That's £1.5 million, so we've got to just keep working along. They've come back with an offer for more of a fee than instalments, so we'll just switch them round. 700 and 500 makes the same amount of money. We're going to go up again. Let's see if we can get a deal out of this. Not this time. We'll keep negotiating and see if we can get there. So this time we'll go for 750 on this front, and we'll bring the other one down accordingly. That one will just be 450 on that side. He's a good player, so less than 1.5 million doesn't really seem right for us. We'll leave the extra couple of grand off of these bottom two fees here, as they're not guaranteed anyway. Let's see if they accept that. They do. So we could be losing Stephen McComb instead of Richards, but either way, if we can get 1.5 million for both of them, that would be an exceptional achievement for our backup midfield. Let's go and have a look at Richards quickly to see if anyone else wants him. There's loads of clubs after him, so don't rule out both of these guys leaving come the end of the day, which would be a huge money spinner for the club. And now we've got that backup in Stevens bought in, we know we're solid enough to cope with it. We're back again, loads more offers for Bass, we're just going to ignore them. We've got an offer for Richards from Leeds. We'll have to read that one a bit carefully because it's non-negotiable. Let's see what the one from Reading's like. Theirs is negotiable, and that's huge. 1.7 million guaranteed. We've got to go and work this up. If we can get 750 grand on both sides here, this could be one of the best deals in the recent history of the club. So let's go and work them up. If we can get 750 on both sides of those, these deals, we don't know that they're guaranteed money, so we're not going to worry about them. And again, we want a percentage of next sale to be 50% because he's a player that could be sold on for a lot of money. They're accepting that. 1.5 million guaranteed, a possible another million to make after it, and 50% of the next sell on. These two deals could be massive. Leeds aren't having him because they put a non-negotiable offer in, which is nearly half the price. That's a terrible deal from them, but we are making big money today if the players accept the moves. Another thing I hadn't noticed, we've got a clause to sell on Carl Roberts. Let's see what that's like. 1.07 million, just over £1 million for a player worth 200 grand. We are making money galore here. How do they calculate these sell-on clauses? That's a ridiculous one. He's never going to go for 2 million surely. He's wanted at the moment, but only on loan, and by clubs in lower leagues than us. So we won't complain about it, but it's very much a surprise. Another million in the bank, and we're going to be a very happy bunny at the end of today. Keeping our first 11 together and making a lot of money still. Let's go and reject these offers for Alex Bass. He's not going anywhere, and we'll be back in a moment when we have the next bit of news. Here's the first of them then, Stephen McComb. He's agreed to join Sheffield United, a lower Premier League side. It looks like they're coming down to the Championship next year. 1.2 million guaranteed, a massive sell-on clause and loads of other instalments. He's only got the potential to be a decent Championship midfielder, so we will go and have a quick look at him. Thank him for his 63 appearances and 6 goals. No starts in League One this year, just a whole bunch of games off the bench, but a decent player, and we're very much happy with the profit he's made us. So goodbye and thank you to him. He's been a fantastic servant and he's welcome back anytime. Let's crack on with it and see if we can get the big deal for Richards over the line too. Well, there's a slight change of plan here. This is turning into a deadline day special. John Richards, West Ham have come in with an initial 2.5 million bid. We are going to negotiate this. This could be one of the biggest sales in the history of the club. Bear with me on this one. I'm going to go and negotiate with them and we'll be back in a moment with the deal we agree. Okay, I'm absolutely baffled here. We went back with 5 million plus 50% of a sell-on clause. They didn't quite want that, but the second time round they've accepted £4 million all up front plus 50% of the next sell-on. This is an unbelievable deal. We have to accept that. And then the other club we'd agreed to transfer with, I'm not quite sure who it was now. It was Reading. I'm afraid they're off the table because West Ham have just blown them out the water. There's the confirmation then. John Richards, our 4th or 5th choice central midfielder, 2.5 star ability, 4.5 potential. He's not the best. He's not as good as McComb was, who just went for half the price. But both deals are unbelievable. £4 million, a record sale for the club. 50% of the next sell on as well. We can't do anything but accept that. I know you don't want to be a selling club forever, but even in the Premier League I'd probably take a deal like that. Unbelievable stuff, and that is hopefully going to pay a large chunk of the stadium should we get over the line and into the Championship. He's been a fantastic servant as well. He's left us with some very kind words, so appreciation to him, but that's a wonderful deal that was just too good to turn down. We are going to go very quickly to the scouting centre just to see if we can bring one in on loan. It can either be a central midfielder or a left midfielder because we've still got Ellis Chapman who can play in both positions. So we're going to have a look at the left hand side, see who we've got on there. No one that's very good, to be brutally honest. Let's see what we've got it in a moment. If we take it down to doubtful, that'll make it a bit better, but there's no one of real quality on the left. In the middle, let's see what else we've got there. We'll go in terms of potential ability because we just need someone to get us through the next 6 months. The only one of any decency is Shenton, who we've had here before, but he's at Plymouth now and is contracted long term. And then Sebastian Neblia, I think that is. Let's see what he's like. Again, he's contracted at Rochdale, so that's going to be a little bit difficult. If we go to loans instead, which will hopefully make it a bit easier, see if there's anyone about. Stephen McComb's loan listed. That could solve all of our problems. I'm going to try and loan back McComb as our backup player and see what happens with that. A rotational option, and we've got the benefit of not having to pay his wage either. I might see if Richards is in the same position. When he joins West Ham, that could mean we've got the same squad as always. We'll just check the left of midfield for loan players just in case there's someone special. There's not, so it looks like there's going to be a lot of familiarity to our signings after we've made a couple of sales. We'll be back in a moment once those ones are confirmed. Well, there you have it. As well as making a huge profit on all of these players, we're bringing back McCoop on loan for the year. Who would have thought that was going to happen at the start of the day? What a yo-yo of events it's been. Richards is on the loan list, but we've got to pay all of his wage, and we don't need both, so we'll just stick with McCoom. Nothing more to contend with other than a few more silly offers for Alex Bass. We've done our deals for the day. No need to sell anyone else. We've reached the point of the Wigan game, but I think this episode's gone on so long we can't show it. I think we're at about the 20-minute mark already, so we might have to leave it there. But it has been a wonderful day for the football club. We haven't sold any of our first 11, just a couple of backup players. We've made £5.5 million for them, got another million for the sell-on clause from Connor Roberts last January, and it just means it's been a brilliant day for the club. If we can get promoted and then request a stadium, we could have almost funded it ourselves. If we go to the finances page now, our bank balance has gone from 2.4 million at the start of the episode all the way up to 8.2 now, with more sell-on fees to come in the future, and hopefully when we're in this position next January, we'll have another couple to sell on from McComb's deal and Richards one. We've got McComb back without paying any of his wage for the rest of the season too, so we're certainly not short in a position, and we haven't got lots of new faces to familiarise with the squad. Just the one signing that's new to the club, and I think we're moving forward in a brilliant direction while still maintaining a good profit for the club. But as this has turned into a deadline day special with an FA Cup draw as well, I really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did, please put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this different type of episode. Obviously we were planning to show a game as well, but I don't want it to go on for 40-45 minutes. We'll make up for it by showing a double header in the next episode. We'll do one of these big league games. If we look at the schedule, we've got Shrewsbury next after this Wigan game. Then we've got a Checker Trade Trophy quarter-final. We've got an FA Cup 5th round tie. And then Lincoln and Barnsley in the league, who I think are both up there. Lincoln are 6th. Barnsley aren't up there, but we could show the Lincoln game. So Bristol City and Lincoln will be the next episode. It's going to be a brilliant end to the season here. Hopefully we get a good youth intake and we continue to raise money for the club. We're in an absolutely fantastic position. If we finish on the competition screen so we can see the league table, we're 8 points clear with a game in hand, so even a draw in this game against Wigan and we'd be comfortably clear of the rest. The 2 cup runs have obviously made things even better, especially considering the trophy one has been largely with our backup team. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one part of the furniture. Again, I obviously apologise for the fact we didn't have the live commentary in the end, but there was so much drama I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be a quiet day with possibly Richards going and a couple of the youngsters out on loan, and we turned into this big massive day where we've been selling players, bringing some back in, and then having magical cup draws as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it. There's also my other FM19 series, The Head Coach, where we're currently with Barnsley at around the same point in Season 6. Obviously we're a journeyman in that save, so we can move from club to club, and it's also a Director of Football challenge, so we don't deal with any of the transfers, contract or staffing issues. But a massive thanks for your continued support and following this series. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you next time for a couple of massive games in this Torquay United series.